Get ready, Padres fans. It's time for the EcoWater SoCal Padres pregame show on the Padres Radio Network.
Tatis hit third, 2 outs. Fernando takes off. He's going to steal home without a play.
Coming up, we'll have a recap of the previous Padres game, a preview of today's starting pitching matchup, and our keys to the game. Plus, we'll hear from manager Mike Schultz. From the Padres Radio Network, here's Sam Levitt.
San Diego Padres baseball coming up on 97.3 The Fan and the Padres Radio Network. Today, the San Diego Padres take on the Minnesota Twins in the first game of a 3-game series. Our starting pitcher matchup today for the Twins, right-hander Zebby Matthews, and for the Padres, right-hander Michael King. Hi again, everyone. Matt Skraby here with you in the Odyssey Studios. Sam Levitt will be calling the game tonight on play-by-play, so we will hear from him shortly. I'm just here for today and tomorrow, and coming up in the next 50 minutes, you'll hear from Padres manager Mike Schultz, you'll hear from Padres reliever Sean Reynolds, and like I just said, we are going to check in with Sam Levitt from the booth. Let's Set the Table, brought to you by Fraser Farms Market. Set your table with the highest quality of natural and organic products from Fraser Farms Market, a San Diego original since 1971, with 3 locations, La Mesa, Vista, and Oceanside. The Padres entered today 70-55. They hold the top wild card spot in the National League and are 3 games behind the Dodgers for first place in the NL West. The Twins are 70-54, 2 games behind the Guardians for first place in the AL Central. The Twins have won 5 of their last 7 games. They lost the finale of a 4-game series against the Rangers yesterday after winning the first 3 games of that series. And even with yesterday's loss, Padres have still won 20 of their last 25 games. Unfortunately, yesterday did not go the way of the Padres. Here's what happened.
How did the Padres fare in their last game? Let's take a look back with our Padres Rewind. Presented by Hamul Casino. With thrilling slots and tables and all the best rewards, Hamul Casino has all the fun you're looking for. Hamul Casino. Fun above all else.
Well, we're going to start this one in a scoreless game in the bottom of the third. There was a runner on base for Rockies shortstop Aaron Schunk against Padres starter Joe Musgrove. It was a very, very long at-bat. Here was pitch number 12 of the AB.
Long hole by Joe. Beck is off and running. The pitch is a line drive into left field. It's going to be trouble. Jurickson Profar is going to have to play it off the wall. Beck is being sent, and it's going to be an RBI double for Aaron Schunk on a 12-pitch plate appearance that gives the Rockies a 1-0 lead here in the third.
But the Padres answered quickly in the top of the 4th inning.
Jackson leading, and he goes. The pitch is swung on, line drive towards the gap. This could be trouble, and it's going to go for extra bases. Jackson is rounding third. Tim Leeper is going to send him on an RBI double by David Peralta to tie this ball game up at 1-1.
Score stayed at tied at 1-1 there. Brian Hoeing was on the mound for the Padres in the bottom of the 6th inning. There were runners on first and third base for Jacob Stallings.
The 1-2. Ground ball through the hole on the right side for a base hit. That's going to score a run. RBI single for Stallings, and now on a bobble in right field. That's going to allow Michael Tolia to head to third base. Rockies with a 2-1 lead on the RBI single by Jacob Stallings.
The Rockies scored another run in the inning to make it 3-1. The Padres still trailed 3-1 going into the 8th inning. Manny Machado cut it to a 1-run deficit.
One to Manny Machado, swung on, driven down the left field line and deep. Going back for it is Beck. This ball is gone. Home run for Manny Machado. Number 19 on the season, and the Padres now trail the Rockies 3-2.
And as you heard right there, Bob Scanlon say 19th homer of the season for Manny Machado. That's as close as the Padres would get. Final score yesterday from Denver, Coors Field, Rockies 3, Padres 2 in that one. To get right back on it tonight, we got to go out to Petco Park, where I'm going to be joined by Sam Levitt for a game preview. Sam, how are you doing today? What are the feelings like for you? And then we'll get to the Padres.
Hey, Skraby. I
Hey.
know no Skraby show here tonight. That's okay. I'll look forward to listening to it later in the week, but appreciate you checking in. Great feeling, really, here at the booth. It's a beautiful night in America's finest city, and really, what more could you ask for? I'm excited. I'm ready to go. It's, quite frankly, a night, an opportunity that I've worked a long time for. A lot of hours on the minor league bus, so I'm excited for tonight. And we got a really good game. Two teams that are playing really well right now.
Yeah, Sam, we were talking about it on Gwen and Chris about how much you have spent, working your way up to this point. We're all very, very happy for you. We got a lot of people listening tonight, so congratulations. But let's get to the reason that you're there. The Padres. They're going to be playing the Twins. Twins are a good team. They're 70-54. The Padres are 70-55. What do you think is the key for the Padres tonight?
Well, I think it starts with the guy on the mound, and that's Michael King, who continues to be so good. 6 scoreless innings against the Pirates his last time out. He struck out 10, and he has to get it done against a lineup in the Twins that can swing the bat. It's a team in Minnesota, Skraby. You go back even to late April. They have been among the better teams in baseball. They're in the midst of a really tight divisional race against the Cleveland Guardians, entering today just 2 games back of the Guardians. So it starts with Michael King, what he does today, and he has to get it done against a really good Twins team. But look, Michael King, we've spoken a lot about the innings and all the different things that went into this season for him. But the bottom line is this: the more he pitches, the better and better he seems to get. So certainly you would look forward to hopefully a nice outing tonight for Michael King.
We'll get into the injuries in just a second, but the Twins are going to be throwing Zebby Matthews out there, and he's going to be making his second career start here for the Twins. What do you got on him?
Yeah, Zebby Matthews, 24-year-old rookie, 8th-round pick by the Twins out of Western Carolina University. Made his major league debut last week against the Royals, Skrabe, and he was really good. 5 innings, 2 earned runs given up, 5 hits. He struck out 5, walked nobody, and he's a guy, it's really interesting, who just had an amazing minor league season. I mean, this guy started his year in 2024 at High A Cedar Rapids. In Cedar Rapids, Iowa, was really good there, then went up to Double-A, then got up to Triple-A, and ultimately got his call to the big leagues. So he's a guy who has really zoomed through the Minnesota system, really good debut, and if you look at any of the rankings, he's somebody that the Twins think is going to be a big part of their rotation moving forward. So you think about it, Skrabe. Look, you're facing a guy who is young, but we've seen the Padres before, and not just this year, but last couple of years when they face a guy they've never seen have a little bit of trouble with that. So keep an eye on that today, but interesting matchup between a guy in Michael King, who's been great, and a guy just getting his feet wet in Matthews.
We're talking to Sam Levitt here. He's getting ready to call his first game of the Padres season tonight on 97.3 The Fan. I'm filling in for him today and tomorrow, but let's talk about the injuries for the Padres. Before the game, Mike Schilt said he didn't really have any information on Ha-Seong Kim. On the show, we were talking about how they would look defensively if he did miss any time. What are your thoughts on the infield now that Ha-Seong Kim is he's not available for tonight? That's all they're saying right now.
Yeah, well, Mike Schilt, look, he gave us a little bit before the game and said that the results so far from what they've seen are mostly favorable, but it was very, very clear that that is an initial reading of his MRI from earlier today. We'll have a deeper evaluation on it, really more of a timetable on what Kim is dealing with in I'm sure the next day or so here. So for tonight, it's Tyler Wade at shortstop. And look, Wade's been a really nice player, obviously coming off the bench for the most part this year. But remember, he's a guy towards the start of the season when Manny Machado was nursing that elbow and he was DHing some. He was somebody who got starts and was productive and has obviously been a productive member of this team really all year. So for now, it's Wade at shortstop, maybe different tomorrow, and then I think there's the bigger picture of if Kim is out for an extended period of time, and we don't know that yet. We got good news today based on what Mike Schilt said, but it's not the final determination of what Ha-Seong Kim is dealing with. But if he's out for an extended period of time, then it gets a little interesting because who plays shortstop? Is that Xander Bogaerts? Is that Jake Cronenworth? Is that Tyler Wade? We just don't know that yet, but here tonight, I think Tyler Wade is certainly a very capable fill-in for Ha-Seong Kim, but obviously, Skraby, on the defensive end especially, you do lose what Kim brings, and we'll see how they do tonight on that infield without Ha-Seong.
We're talking to Sam Levitt here on the Padres pregame EcoWater SoCal Padres pregame show. I'm still getting a little used to this chair, and then Sam will have it right back for everyone on Wednesday. But I just wanted to ask one last thing.
Harder than it looks, huh, Skraby?
Oh, it's totally harder than it looks. I for sure agree with that. Jurickson Profar, he's been an all-star for the Padres all year. He's struggled as of late. What do you think the Padres are going to do to get him going?
I mean, look, that's a good question. I will say this about Jurickson. Every time he's went through sort of a mini skid this season, he always finds a way out of it. There has been no extended slump for Jurickson Profar. I mean, that's really the amazing thing when you look at Profar's season or even Jackson Merrill's season. There's just been no extended slumps for those guys. So how are they going to get him going? I think Jurickson is very capable of getting it going, and he seems to not allow these skids, especially this season, to last very long. But you make a good point, Skraby. He's so important to this lineup, and you look at the offense. In the final game in Colorado, just 3 runs, and they had the very quiet game on Friday, 3 runs. So they could use to get the offense going again, and obviously Jurickson is a very, very big part of that.
All right, Sam, I hope you enjoy your night calling the game, and congratulations once again. And I mean that from all of us here at 97.3 The Fan. Very well deserved, and I'm really looking forward to hearing you tonight.
All right, Skraby, I appreciate that, and you have a good rest of your post-game. Good rest of your pregame.
You'll be
Skraby,
on the postgame.
Okay? Don't mess it up now.
I will,
okay,
I will not.
You got to keep the reputation stellar with the pregame.
Absolutely, that was the thing that made me the most nervous. Was man, Sammy Lev can't have a guy like Skraby filling up his time. All right, thanks, Sam. We'll talk to you soon.
Skraby, see ya.
I'm Matt Skraby. This is the EcoWater SoCal Padres pregame show on 97.3 The Fan. When we get back, we're going to hear from Mike Schilt. You're going to hear from him about the injuries going on with the team. Also, we'll get into some who's hot, who's not, and then we will check on some of the Major League headlines from around Major League Baseball. So stick with us here. We'll be back shortly on 97.3 The Fan. Pat Skraby here with you from the Odyssey Studios on 97.3 The Fan. You're listening to the EcoWater SoCal Padres pregame show, and we still have a lot to do before we send it back out to Sam Levitt and Bob Scanlon in the booth. They'll be calling the game tonight between the Padres and the Twins. We're about to hear from manager Mike Shildt. We're going to talk about who's hot, who's not on the team, and we're also going to get to some Major League headlines here in this segment. If you missed it about Ha-Seong Kim, he left the game yesterday. Mike Shildt did speak on it. He's going to talk about it here in just 1 second. So make sure if you're curious about Ha-Seong Kim, you stick around, because I guess since I'm getting used to the schedule, it is now time for us to go down and speak with Padres manager Mike Shildt.
Let's pull up a seat in the manager's office and hear from Padres manager Mike Shildt. Presented by Sinley Food. Spice up your culinary life.
Start, I guess, with an update on Ha-Seong Kim. If he's had his MRI, what are the results? Where does he stand?
We have had the MRI. We're still working on getting the results and getting them evaluated. So I don't want to be announcing anything that's too early. It is more favorable initially, but I say that with caution because I've done this a while, and sometimes the imaging comes out and it's like, it looks pretty good. And people get really excited, expecting to be able to play tomorrow. And then you come back and you get further imaging, and then you get second opinions, and then you get another image. It's deeper because it sees something better or clearer, and it shows up something that can be alarming. So all I can tell you is literally 10 minutes ago, I get a little bit of information that I'm sharing in real time with you that seems to be mostly favorable, but there's zero timeline to it. Other than, could always be a lot worse, and initially fairly pleased what it looks like, but still gathering information.
Do you anticipate an IL stint?
Still evaluating that. Like I said, we just literally got it, and haven't had a chance to connect with him. And but the good news is we haven't IL'd him, so there's still a possibility he could avoid it.
Available to you off the bench in this tonight?
No.
Sitting for sure.
Yeah, no, not today. No.
Any update on Fernando and where he is in the process of MRIs and evaluation?
Yeah, similar. No MRI since the last time we've spoken, and releasing the information there. We're just getting back in town, so we're just getting a chance to connect with him, spend the day figuring that out, talk to him, medical team about what the next steps are.
What about your Darvish coach? Is he doing better?
Again, I've been on record with you as far as it's a personal matter that we really want to get into. So I wished him happy birthday the other day, and so that was our correspondence. We're making sure he's doing well personally with his situation and seems to be doing better. But as far as anything baseball related, he's on a restricted list, and it doesn't allow us to communicate.
Coach, how exciting is it to be in the middle of this pennant race where you guys are at right now?
It's the best. This is what we play for. This is why we show up for spring training. It's why we show up every day to play a major league game. And every day we play, whether it's the opening day in Seoul, Korea, or April, May, June, July, now August. We show up every day, and for me, they're all playoff games.
You say favorable on Ha-Seong Kim. Could you be more specific? Like favorable that it's not a significant injury or something that you can manage or avoid surgery?
All I can say is, I know it's vague, but we just got the imaging, so I can't be more specific for you. I've actually been probably more open about it than maybe initially than maybe I should have. It's just favorable. It doesn't look like there's anything imminent that's going to, be long term. Beyond that, it's vague for all of us.
I don't think we saw in the locker room how are his spirits right now.
Well, he just got through his MRI. He's not in the locker room, so he'll be in later. And talking to David's interpreter, I think there's a lot of anxiety going into it, and how he feels afterwards, I think it's probably a little better.
Who's your backup shortstop if Kim's not available?
We got Wadey out there tonight. We got multiple guys that can play there.
Would Bogarts be an option to slide back over?
We got multiple guys that are capable.
And he's one of them.
One of them capable guys. Sorry to be vague, but
Coach, how important is it in this homestand? You guys kind of been up and down at home this year. How important is it to kind of come out tonight and just set the tone on this 7-game homestand and get a W tonight?
It's important every day we show up to play the best of our ability and play the game clean, pitch and hit, well together, and give ourselves the best chance to compete and win.
That was Mike Shildt before the game talking to the media, giving his pregame presser. And, he was a little vague, but we talked a lot about that on Gwen and Chris. If you would like to hear some more conversation about that, you can go back to the podcast on Gwen and Chris and listen. But that's what we have for now. So we will update you again in the injury report. But right now we need to pause for station identification.
You have a camera on you.
All right, Matt Skraby here with you in the Odyssey Palace 97.3 The Fan. Sammy Lev is going to be calling the game tonight. He'll be on play-by-play, so I am filling in for him the next couple days. He's going to do post-game, so you'll get to hear him during the game and also on post-game, but it's that time of the show where we need to talk about some players. Well, it's always fun to do the hot category here. And who's hot for the Padres? David Peralta is hot for the Padres in the last 13 games. He's batting .381. He's hit 4 home runs. He has 5 doubles and 11 RBIs over the last 13 games. So very, very good stuff from him. Luis Arraez is also hot. Last 10 games, he's hitting .304. So he is dealing with that thumb injury and still hitting pretty well. In the last 11 games for Jackson Merrill, he has an OPS of 1.201. He's hitting .357. He's got a slugging percentage of .810, and he's got 4 home runs and 10 RBIs in the last 11 games for Jackson Merrill. Now, on the not hot list, we talked about it with Sam a little bit earlier when we visited with him at Petco Park. Jurickson Profar has not been hot here in the last 12 games. He's just hitting .205 with 2 RBIs. So quite the departure from the Jurickson Profar that we have seen lately for the Padres, but he could always turn it right back around. So that is our Who's Hot, Who's Not segment. I like it when I don't have to say a lot of who's not, guys, because that means the Padres are playing pretty well. And as we all know, the Padres are playing really, really well right now. And the injuries, I'm going to knock on wood, haven't been too terrible for the Padres this year, but other teams around Major League Baseball have had some major issues. So let's check them out. The Braves have just been snake bitten by injuries all season long. Austin Riley, third baseman for the Braves, could return at some point during the postseason if the Braves make the postseason, but he is scheduled to miss 6 to 8 weeks with a right hand fracture. He was hit by a pitch in a game yesterday, and the MRI shown that his a fracture in his right hand. The wild card series begins 6 weeks from tomorrow, so he could technically make it back. The Braves are going to have to do a lot of work to get back into the playoff hunt and be firmly placed there in the playoff hunt. The Diamondbacks, this is big news for the Padres in the National League West. The Diamondbacks are going to be playing without Ketel Marte for a little bit. Ketel Marte is going to be put on the IL for the Diamondbacks. He aggravated the left ankle sprain that he sustained last week during a pitch hit performance in the 9th inning yesterday. He checked his swing on a 1-0 pitch from Rays reliever Pete Fairbanks and then collapsed to the ground in a seated position in the left-handed batter's box. He stayed down for a few minutes. He punched the ground with his fist before trying to get back to his feet, but he is on the IL with the ankle injury. The Houston Astros are going to get a big boost back to their pitching staff because Justin Verlander is going to be returning Wednesday against the Boston Red Sox. He has not pitched since June 9th because of a stiff neck, and he's going to be activated before the game on Wednesday. He threw a bullpen at Minute Maid Park on Sunday, and they're talking about whether or not the Astros are going to go to a 6-man rotation during a stretch in which they're playing 18 games in a row without a day off. So Justin Verlander will be back for the Astros on Wednesday. Now, in other news, I'm looking at the time right now, and I'm thinking I should probably head to break because I've been the guy who goes too long, and no one wants me to go too long. I'm Matt Skraby, filling in for Sam Levitt here on the EcoWater SoCal Padres pregame show on 97.3 The Fan. We get back, we're going to talk about Ha-Seong Kim and the injury report. We're going to check out and see what's going on around Major League Baseball. Also, the keys to the game, and we will we'll talk about that when we return here on the EcoWater SoCal Padres pregame show on 97.3 The Fan. Back here in the Odyssey Palace, 97 through the Fan, I'm Matt Skraby, filling in for Sam Levitt here on this Padres pregame show. He's going to be calling the game, so we will send it off to him and Bob Scanlon here around 6:30. But we still have some things to do. Real quick, I wanted to fit this in here because this is next level journalism from a friend of the show, friend of the station, AJ Cassavell, MLB.com. Now, the Twins are in town, so he went and he wrote an article about, did you know the Padres have 3 Twins on their roster? Not like former Minnesota Twins, but actual twins. Matt Waldron, Dylan Cease, and Xander Bogaerts all grew up with a fraternal twin brother. I did not know this. The Waldron story is the most prominent, AJ Cassavell saying. His twin brother... Actually, Matt Waldron started throwing the knuckleball with his twin brother, Mike. The two loved using the pitch so much in video games, they began messing around with it in the backyard, and now we all know Matt Waldron is in the major leagues throwing a knuckleball, and that's pretty cool. So, twins. I had no idea that Xander Bogaerts or Dylan Cease was a twin. I've heard the Matt Waldron thing before, but had never heard about the other guys. So, next level reporting from AJ Cassavell. You can go find that on MLB.com. All right, before we get to, actually, let's get to our next segment, which is going to be the injury report.
Who's in? Who's out? This is the Bada Fulkerson Injury Report, presented by San Diego's Bulldog Injury Attorneys, who hope you're never in an accident. But if you are, make Bada Fulkerson the first call you make. Hit them up 24/7 at badafulkerson.com.
Well, the biggest injury that we're going to be talking about is something we've already talked about here on the pregame show, but Ha-Seong Kim jammed his right shoulder on a dive back into first base on a pickoff attempt yesterday in Colorado. He exited the game immediately, went right into the clubhouse. He was scheduled for an MRI today. He did get the MRI. As we heard from Mike Schilt just a little bit ago, he was saying that they aren't sure about an IL stint. They are still considering whether or not Ha-Seong Kim has to go on the IL to get some rest for his shoulder, but they have not made any decisions. They have not made any moves yet, and he is not going to be available for the game tonight, even for a pinch hit. So he is completely out tonight. You will not see him, according to Mike Schilt. But Ha-Seong Kim, apparently favorable news, Mike Schilt said. So let's hope for a quick recovery from Ha-Seong Kim. And outside of that, Padres are looking pretty good with their injury situation. All right, let's see. What do I want to go to first? Actually, you know what? We need to check on and see what's going on around baseball, Frank.
Let's take a trip around the bigs and tell you about the scores you need to know in our out-of-town scoreboard. Presented by Jensen Meat, where great taste meets integrity.
Let's start with the National League West score. The Diamondbacks in Miami taking on the Marlins. It's the top of the ninth inning. The Marlins did make it a game, but the Diamondbacks pulled away once again. They are leading 9-4 in the top of the ninth inning. We go to Toronto. Bottom of the seventh inning, the Reds are leading the Blue Jays 6-2 in that game. Bottom of the seventh inning in New York, the Mets are tied with the Orioles right now, 3-3. Top of the fifth in Texas, the Rangers lead the Pirates 4-3. Bottom of the fourth in Houston, the Red Sox lead the Astros 2-0. The fourth inning just ended in Kansas City. The Royals lead the Angels 3-0. And then some of the games tonight, of course, we have the Twins and the Padres. We also have the Rays visiting the Athletics in Oakland. We have the White Sox visiting the Giants in San Francisco at 6:45. And then at 7:10 p.m., the Mariners will take on the Dodgers in Chavez Ravine. So that is what's happening around baseball right now. The only score that matters to the Padres at this moment, the Diamondbacks are winning the game against the Marlins 9-4. All right. Matt Skraby here with you on the EcoWater SoCal Padres pregame show, and I think I have all the answers for tonight.
How will the Padres unlock a victory in today's game? These are the keys to the game. Presented by Honor Buick GMC Hummer in National City.
All right, let's start with this one, and we talked about it with Sam Levitt when we visited with him earlier. Get Profar going again. Profar has just 5 for his last 30. In his last 12 games, he's hitting .205 with only 2 RBIs. So we've seen Jurickson Profar be great this year, and I think we all know that he can get back to that, but he needs to get going again if the Padres are going to have a good shot at beating the Twins. Second key to the game, Michael King pitching for the Padres. He needs to have a more controlled pitch count through the early innings. We've seen it before with Michael King. He could start out strong, but then there's always that one inning where he throws 20, 25, 30 pitches, which derails his depth into the latter part of the game. So Michael King needs to keep that pitch count down early in order for him to get deep into the game, strike out a lot of Twins batters. Third key to the game, make Skraby Matthews, the Twins pitcher, sweat early. Do not let him settle in. Jump all over him and score some runs early to shake his confidence. This will be his second start in the major league. So Skraby Matthews, make him sweat early. Do not let him settle in. And those are the biggest keys of the game for two nights. I would also add, Tyler Wade needs to have a big game. Filling in for Ha-Seong Kim. He's done some great things, but he needs to, fill that defensive role, fill it so that we don't miss Ha-Seong Kim is what I'm trying to say. All right, when we get back here on the EcoWater SoCal Padres pregame show, we're going to talk about what to watch for. Also, we have the pitching preview, and we'll get deep into these pitching matchups with a lot more to go, and then we'll send you out to Petco Park for the first game of a 3-game series between the Padres and the Twins here on 97.3 The Fan. Back here for one final segment. EcoWater SoCal Padres pregame show on 97.3 The Fan. The Padres taking on the Twins in the first game of a 3-game series ending on Wednesday. The Padres are 70-55. They hold the top wild card spot in the National League and are 3 games behind the Dodgers for first place in the National League West. The Twins are 70-54, 2 games behind the Guardians for first place in the AL Central. And the Twins have actually won 5 of their last 7. They lost the finale of a 4-game series against the Rangers yesterday after winning the first 3 games against the Rangers. And even with yesterday's loss, the Padres still have won 20 of their last 25 games. So still one of the hottest teams in Major League Baseball right now. We still have the What to Watch For segment. We'll get into our pitching preview, and then we are going to send you out to Sam Levitt and Bob Scanlon at Petco Park. Sam Levitt is going to be making his Padres play-by-play debut. All of us here at 97.3 The Fan, very excited for him. So join us in our excitement and listen to Sammy tonight on the radio and support him, because that's what we do here on the station. All right, now I will get to the things that you need to look out for tonight.
What's the one thing Sam Levitt will be keeping his eye on in today's game? This is What to Watch For. Presented by Genesis Home Improvements, San Diego's trusted painting, roofing, and window company. Save 15% today on a new beginning for your home. Visit GenesisHomeImprovementsSD.com.
First thing I'm going to be watching for tonight is how do the Padres rebound after losing their first series since the All-Star break. The Padres had won 8 straight series coming into the series against the Colorado Rockies, and if they would have won 9, it would have been a franchise record. They did not, as we all know, and so I'm looking to see how they rebound from their first drop series in quite some time. I don't think it's going to be that big of an issue, but you never know, and that's something I will be watching. Also, I'm going to be watching Michael King at home, pitching at home versus the road. Michael King has had better road starts, but he is in search of his third winning decision in his 11th start at home. He owns a 2-4 record at home with a 3.79 ERA, 1.28 WHIP, and a 2.32 average against in his home starts. In his 13 road starts, he's 7-2, 2.56 ERA, including winning decisions in 4 consecutive road starts from June 29th through July 27th. The last San Diego pitcher to earn a win in 4 straight road starts was Yu Darvish's 5 in a row from August 27th to September 24th, 2022. So I'm going to be looking to see what Michael King can do here at home, and we are going to get into the pitching preview with more of what he offers. Also, contact on Michael King. He has a low exit velocity. It's the 98th percentile entering today. His average exit velocity against 85.2 leads all Padres starting pitchers and ranks in the 98th percentile league wide. The league wide average exit velocity is 88.5. Michael King also ranks in the 97th percentile in hard hit percentage, which is 29.8, with the league wide average hard hit percentage of being 36.5%. So basically, looking for the type of contact the Twins get on Michael King tonight, because he has been very good at limiting hard contact, and so that's what we'll be watching for as well. Matt Skraby here with you, EcoWater SoCal Padres pregame show. We're going to send it out to Sammy Lev and Bob Scanlon here shortly in about 10 minutes or so, and then you'll hear the game called by Sam Levitt and Bob Scanlon. But right now, we need to dive a little bit more into what we're going to see on the mound tonight.
Let's take a look at who's on the bump today with our starting pitching preview. Presented by Chimney Sweeps, Inc., San Diego's trusted chimney and fireplace service company for 40 years. Call Chimney Sweeps, Inc. at 1-800-CHIMNEY or book an inspection online at chimneysweepsinc.com.
Michael King, a right-handed pitcher who's 29 years old in 2024. He's 10-6 with a 3.19 ERA. He's had 24 outings. He's pitched 135 in a third innings. He's struck out 161, and he's walked only 47 batters this season. In his last 14 starts, he has a 2.44 ERA in 81 innings. He's allowed more than 2 runs just 3 times in those last 14 starts. He's allowed more than 3 runs just once, which is a very remarkably, as Sam Levitt notes, a remarkably consistent run. He faced the Twins 3 times with the Yankees, a 2.45 ERA in 7+ innings against them. He throws a sinker, a changeup, a 4-seam fastball, a sweeper, and a slider. Now, here's the note that I was going to pass along to everyone for right-handed pitcher of the Twins, Zebby Matthews. He's a 24-year-old rookie. His real name, Daniel Zebulon Matthews. I kind of like that name, Zebulon, and the nickname Zebby. He was an 8th-round pick by the Twins out of Western Carolina University. He was ranked as their best pitching prospect according to MLB Pipeline. He made his major league debut last week against the Royals, going 5 innings, giving up only 2 earned runs, 5 hits, and struck out 5 while walking none. He had an amazing minor league season, as Sam noted earlier. He started at High A Cedar Rapids, 1.59 ERA in 4 starts there. Went to Double-A Wichita next, 1.95 ERA in 10 outings there, and he was really one of the best minor league pitchers in baseball in the first few months of the season. Then he made 4 starts at AAA, and he got called up. Get this, he wasn't even invited to Major League spring training, let alone used as one of the extra pitchers used in spring training games. So Zebby has kind of come out of nowhere. His control, he has 114 strikeouts to just 7 walks and 97 innings in the minors this season, which is also incredible. Frank just gave me that look of incredibleness. which is an word. His arsenal is a four-seam fastball. He throws that 49% of the time. And slider, 21%, cutter, 20%, and then he's got a changeup and a curveball. So going back to one of our keys to the game, make Zebby Matthews sweat early. Do not let him settle in. And that is our pitching preview for today. I'm Matt Skraby, wrapping up here the EcoWater SoCal Padres pregame show on 97.3 The Fan. I'll send you out to Petco Park shortly. But the Padres do have a big series ahead with the Twins this week. Twins, very good. Second place in their own division. Padres, second place in their division, looking to try and catch the Dodgers for first place. The Twins are trying to catch the Guardians for first place. The Padres have won 20 of their last 25 games, and the Twins have won 5 of their last 7 games for the Twins. That's, about the major points of the pregame show that we need to hit. So let's talk a little bit more about what's going on with Ha-Seong Kim and the defense. So Ha-Seong Kim, as you all know, he jammed his right shoulder on a dive back into first base on a pickoff attempt yesterday in Colorado. Exited the game early. Looked like he was in some pain. He had an MRI today. Mike Schilt said it was a favorable result, but they are still waiting for more information on the injury, and they're still waiting for more imaging, as Mike Schilt put it. So we will have to wait a little bit. They're not going to put Ha-Seong Kim on the IL just yet. They announced earlier they're still considering an IL stay for Ha-Seong Kim, but they are not going to make that move. At least today, he is not available for the game tonight either. Ha-Seong Kim has been dealing with some injuries this year, and so tonight is going to be a night that he is not going to be with or available for the team. Now let's go back to Michael King for a second, because 5 of King's 6 career 100-plus pitch outings have come this season, with his career-high 109 coming on April 17th at Milwaukee. His 93.8 pitches per game are second most among all San Diego pitchers and 10th most among all qualifying National League pitchers. King's 5 100-plus pitch outings this season are the second most on the SD staff, trailing Dylan Cease's 14 100-plus pitch outings. Now, Michael King and Dylan Cease are headliners of the National League strikeout numbers. Dylan Cease has 186 strikeouts on the season, and Michael King has 161. They rank second and 8th in the National League among strikeout leaders, and they joined Zach Wheeler, who has 162, and Aaron Nola, who has 142, as the only other National League duo to join Cease and King in the top 10 in punch-outs. Last time Michael King started for the Padres, he ended up striking out 10 against the Pirates at home. He gave up 7 hits, no earned runs. He didn't walk anyone as well. He threw 93 pitches, 70 of those 4 strikes. All right, let's get you out to Petco Park, because it's time for Sam Levitt to make his debut. You've been listening to the EcoWater SoCal Padres pregame show on the Padres Radio Network. I think I'm actually supposed to wait for the music before I start reading that, but you've been listening again to the EcoWater SoCal Padres pregame show on the Padres Radio Network. EcoWater SoCal, your water should be perfect. Find them online at EcoWaterSoCal.com. I'm Matt Skraby. Thank you for listening to the Padres pregame show here on 97.3 The Fan. And in just a couple minutes, you'll be taken to Petco Park for the Major League play-by-play debut of Sam Levitt, and he'll be joined by Bob Scanlon. And I can't wait to hear it, everybody. Enjoy the game. Have a great night.